guys, so this past Sunday I went to church and the gospel shocked me. So the topic was on one of the deadly sins, sloth. And what are the deadly sins? In the Bible, God says these actions are at the top of the things that are sinful, wrong. And when you think about it, these things usually tend to ruin your life, or at least make it way harder than it has to be. Okay, so what are the 7 deadly sins? Pride, greed, envy, lust, gluttony, excessive consumption. That's what gluttony is. Let me think. Wrath, excessive anger, and sloth. Okay, so what is sloth? Sloth is most commonly referred to as a spirit of laziness. And I was like, I'm not lazy, so this must be for the rest of y'all, not for me. But then the grace and the wisdom and the glory of God hit me like a ton of bricks. When the priest said, not only is it physical laziness, like your typical couch potato with the eyes glazed over, mouth open, just staring at a screen full of flashing lights, not only is it physical laziness, it is laziness in actively pursuing God's plan and God's purpose for your life. And I personally feel like my purpose is to spread God's message, God's word through my talents. And I was like, what am I doing right now to do that with my talents? And I wasn't doing anything. I was at church. First time that I've been to church in a long time. Don't judge me, y'all, but I made it because I'm trying. But that's really it. I was praying. I started reading the Bible more, but I really wasn't actively using my talents to grow God's kingdom. I was being nice and stuff. I was spreading a positive message, that's wonderful and beautiful if you're doing that. Woohoo! But there's so much more to God's plan for your life. And I was really justifying myself. I was like, I'm not lazy. I work out, I clean my room, I do laundry, I go to work, I pay the bills. I soon realized I was being spiritually lazy. God says in Proverbs 6, verse 9, how long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? That did something to me. The priest then went on to say that it's funny that the animal is named sloth because all it does is hang on a tree all day, sleeps for 18 hours a day, and eventually grows algae on its back because of how much it just sits there and does absolutely nothing. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to live my life that way. I don't want to grow algae. I don't want to grow spiritual algae on my soul. Another crazy thing is a lot of times sloth is the effect of another deadly sin. For example, if a father's anger, wrath causes his son to shut down and feel unworthy, because that kind of hurts, it can make the son not want to pursue his duties anymore. And boom, sloth is born. Okay, so that's an example of how one can become sloth, but how can we get unslothed? Okay, so everyone has a different spiritual journey, but me personally, I started thinking, what are my talents, what are my gifts, and how can I use them to actively spread God's word and grow God's kingdom? If you want, you can go ahead and get a pen and start writing it down, and this might be the day that you start living in God's divine and perfect plan for your life, which always levels up and is everything that you could ever want and desire anyway. So it's kind of like, why not, Now, I'm using my marketing skills for God, but that's my talent, so you see. Anyways, I would love to see and for y'all to share with me the list that y'all have made, and I would love even more to see people actively pursuing their purpose with God and seeing just how much we can do with our talents.